Yo, what's up YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne, bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be discussing with you guys today is we got some new ideas for shiranui support for you guys. So here guys, with Link summoning on the horizon, I've come up with some shiranui monsters to, facilitate the new summoning mechanic. So I've come up with three shiranui Link monsters, 3 monsters from the main deck, and 1 spell and 1 trap. So yeah guys, with that said, Link Summoning is definitely going to be a thing to hit the scene pretty soon. So just a basic rundown of what Link Summoning is. Like Link Summoning, the colors of the cards are blue, just like ritual monsters, and except they are actually special summonable out of the extra deck. So basically how you summon them is you have to have the required amount of materials to Link summon a card, and it comes from the extra deck into the extra monster zone. So that's another thing that they added. So we're gonna have 6 slots for monsters. So it's the extra monster zone, and then the 5 regular monster zones for your original monsters. So yeah, so it's definitely going to be an interesting thing. I know I did speak about this in my last zombie vid that I did, that it's going to be something interesting, and some of the new archetypes seem pretty good for it, and it's the mechanic has already been broken, so it's basically nothing else to do with that but just go forward and see how things work out from here. So with all of that said, let's get into the support. So let us begin with the first card, which is Emperor of Shiranui. Now this is a obvious zombie effect. Link 4 with 3100 attack. Its markers are right, down, and down left. So his effect states, when this card is Link summoned, you can special summon 1 zombie type monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, during either player's turn, activate the following effects by attributing 1 zombie type monster that this card Link's markers point to. Effect number 1, banish 1 face-up card your opponent controls. And effect number 2, return 1 banished zombie back to the graveyard. Next card is Empress of Shiranui. This is also zombie effect. Link 3 with 2500 attack. Its markers are right, down, and left. Its effect is, once with this card is Link summoned, special summon 1 zombie type monster from your deck. Once per turn, during either player's turn, activate the following effects by attributing a zombie type monster this card Link markers point to. First effect reads, zombie type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. Second effect reads, take control of a face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase of the turn. Alright, next monster is Prince of Shiranui. This card gains 300 attack. Hold on. This card is a Link 2 with 2100 attack. Its markers are down right and down left. This card gains 300 attack for each zombie monster linked to it. If this card is Link summoned, special summon 1 zombie type monster from your hand. Once per turn, during either player's turn, activate 1 of the following effects by attributing 1 zombie type monster this card Link marker points to. First effect reads, banish 1 face-up monster on the field until the end phase. Second effect reads, shuffle 1 banished zombie type monster into the deck. Alright, so that's it for the links. We're going to the main deck monsters. Next we have Court Jester of Shiranui, which is a zombie, level 3, 900 attack, 0 defense, which is a tuner of course. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Shiranui card effect, or as a tribute for a tribute summon of a zombie type monster, target 1 card your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. This effect can only be activated once per turn. While this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card and a non-tuner zombie into the deck to special summon 1 zombie type synchro from your extra deck. Alright, next we have General of Shiranui, which is a level 7 with 2750 attack and 0 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by attributing 1 zombie type monster. Cannot be used for a tribute summon. If this card is tributed to activate a Shiranui card, Target one zombie type monster. It can make a second attack during the battle phase. If this card is banished, shuffle this card into the deck to add one shiranui card from your deck to your hand. Next we have, last for the main deck monsters, we have Sergeant of Shiranui, which is a level 4 with 1750 attack. If this card is tributed for a tribute summon of a zombie type monster, or to activate a shiranui card effect, you can draw one card and banish one shiranui monster from your deck. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Alright, so that is it for the main deck. We're going to go into the support cards. Now we have a Shiranui style moon formation, which is a normal trap. You can tribute one zombie type monster to select up to 2 monsters your opponent controls and flip them into face down defense position. And their positions cannot be changed except for a card effect. You can only activate this effect once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target one zombie type monster you control and one zombie type monster in your graveyard. The first target gains the second target's attack until the end phase of this turn, and this effect can be activated during either player's turn. Alright, last card is Shiranui style double formation. This is a quick play spell. Now this effect reads, you can special summon 2 zombie type monsters, one from your grave and one from your banish zone. Their effects are negated, they cannot attack, and are shuffled into the deck during the end phase. You can only activate one double formation per turn. So that is it for all the cards. So in similar fashion to all my other idea vids, I will go ahead and break down the cards, some combos. You guys already know what it does. Alright, so let's head back to Emperor of Shiranui to read out this effect once again. So, if this card is link summoned, of course, you don't want it to have an abusable effect like when it's special summoned or anything like that, because, it's a new mechanic. We're still sort of breaking it in, so let's keep it at link summoned for now. Alright, you can special summon one zombie type monster from your graveyard. So basically, this is a link 4 monster, so of course you're going to be, getting rid of 4 monsters off your field to summon this monster. So at least you can, least you can do is get one monster back to, recur some of that advantage that you lost through the whole link summoning of this card. So, you're really essentially going super minus, so the effect allows you to go from -4 to -3. So it's actually pretty decent. You don't want to be too much. I could have gave it 2 monsters to summon back, but nah, just one is fine, because you know how Shiranuis can recur back their resources through various means, so you don't even have to really worry about that. So, alright, so that's the explanation on that. So, all of these cards, all of the links have this effect in common, where they tribute tribute monsters that their link markers point to. So, basically, the 2 effects activate that, are linked to this card, of course. So, banish one face-up card your opponent controls. It's non-targeting removal, and it's permanent banishing and stuff like that, which is always pretty good. And return one banished zombie back into the graveyard. So, of course, this is an homage to how the deck originally functions, where you are going back and forth between the banish and the graveyard, of course. So, that's always pretty good to have on a monster. Alright, so that's basically that. Let's go over Empress once again. This is a link 3, so you're giving up 3 monsters to summon, which is pretty easy in a Shiranui deck, of course. 2500 attack, which isn't too bad for a link 3. And this one, instead of getting from the graveyard like Emperor, this one gets from the deck, so that's basically added advantage instead of you losing advantage from the everything being sent to the graveyard, and you special summon the graveyard. So special summoning from the deck is always pretty good. And of course the effects of activate when it tributes a monster it's linked to. Zombie type monsters can be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. They cannot be destroyed, so pretty good for protection for your zombies, for Raigeki, Darkhold, Torrential Tribute, and stuff like that, anything that destroys. So yeah, so then now we have take control of one face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Once again, non-targeting, taking control of the monsters, which is actually pretty good. You know, Big Eye is the rank 7 that takes control of your opponent's monsters permanently, but that targets, so, you know, this doesn't target, which is actually pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, next card is Prince of Shiranui. Now, this is a Link 2 with 2100 attack, which is super easy to summon. You could just basically Spirit Master into another monster and get this out onto the field instantly. And this gets you an extra monster from your hand. So basically what they all do is, you know, when you lose the advantage, it gives you an extra card to put, you know, at their Link monsters, so you have instant access to their effects of when you summon the card to the field. So that's basically my thought process behind that. So yeah, so this card gains 300 attack for each zombie linked to it. So since it has 2 Link monsters, it could potentially be 2700 attack, which isn't bad at all. And its 2 effects: when you tribute a monster to link to it, banish one face-up monster on the field until the end phase. So it's sort of like Empress, but, you know, slightly watered down because it only does it until the end phase. And then shuffle one banished zombie into the deck, which is also like Emperor's, but except for it being taken back to the graveyard, put it back to the deck to, you know, add an extra resource to your, you know, to your arsenal. So yeah, so that is pretty good as well. Now let's go into the main deck monsters now. This card is sent to the graveyard to activate a shiranui card effect, or as a tribute for a tribute summon of a zombie type monster. So let's go over that real quick. So obviously the Link monsters have the ability to tribute monsters to activate various effects. So when you tribute one of these monsters, you also have their added effects, you know, added to the whole situation, so you can have a couple of sets of effects going off at one time, starting a chain, and, you know, you're gaining advantage to that particular situation or whichever card you tribute for the, you know, activation of these cards. So basically, when any of the Link monsters tribute this one, you get to target a card your opponent controls and shuffle into the deck. So you could combo that with all the, you know, 2 abilities of each of the Link monsters to get a different set of effects that go off. So alright, so that's that, and then you can shuffle into the deck. It could only be activated once per turn because you don't have a little bit too much. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card and a non-tuner zombie into the deck, and special summon a zombie type synchro from your extra deck. So, you know, obviously I took the basic ideas off of my before mentioned the Magician of Shiranui and actually obviously Spectral Sword, of course. So you guys know obviously Spectral Sword banishes to special summon the aforementioned Magician in one of my other videos. Activates while it's banished to shuffle back into the deck or into the graveyard to special summon from the extra deck as well. So that is my basic, you know, rundown of, you know, my mindset behind that effect for the card. So I think that is pretty good as well. Alright, so let's talk about General of Shiranui, which is the level 7 with 2750 attack. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing one zombie type monster. So basically, if you tribute zombie or not zombie, sergeant or court jester, you get their effects to go off because they're being tribute summoned for a tribute summon of a zombie type monster. So that's pretty good as well. So if this card is tribute to activate a Shiranui card, target one zombie monster, it can make a second attack during the battle phase. So basically, if this is tributed for the Link monsters effects, or do various trap cards that we have that contribute monsters for effects as well, such as Swallow Slash that tributes to destroy. And then we have one of the old cards that I mentioned, which is Sword Master Slash, that tributes to negate and destroy a card. And then we have what's this? We have Moon Formation that tributes to Book of Moon 2 cards. So you know, it all sort of synergizes and work well together. So Excuse me. Alright, so giving a zombie an ability to attack twice is always pretty good, you know, set up for OTKs and stuff like that. And if this card is banished, shuffle this card into the deck to add one shiranui card from your deck to your hand. So that is pretty good as well. So it gives you double recursion. It gives you a recursion of a monster, and it adds a monster from your deck. Or rather, adds a card, so which means it can be either a spell or trap card to be added from your deck to your hand to set up for plays and stuff, which is pretty good. And you guys already know we have a multitude of ways of banishing, so you ain't really got to worry about it being banished for whatever reason. So, alright, so let's speak of Sergeant of Shiranui. This card is tributed for the tribute summon of a zombie type monster, or to activate a Shiranui card effect, you can draw one card, then banish one Shiranui monster from your deck. So, essentially, you can use this or in multiple copies because, you know, both effects are activated once per turn. So you can draw one card and then you could banish another copy of Sergeant to activate its banish effect to special summon itself. So you didn't really lose any advantage at all from its banishing. So that's really good. So yeah, so as I mentioned, as this card is banished, you can special summon this card. So yeah, so you can do it through Swallow Slash, which banish this and, you know, get you an extra monster on board. Banish it through Shogun Saga's Affair to get you an extra 1750 attack on top of Shogun Saga, and then the monster comes back to the field. That's actually really good. Just thinking about the potential for that card is really solid. Alright, so this card, obviously both of these effects can be activated once per turn, of course. Alright, so let's go into the support. Alright, so Shiranui style Moon Formation is the normal trap that tributes a zombie to select up to 2 monsters your opponent controls and flip them into face down defense position. So this is obviously a good card for offense and defensive purposes to, you know, stop your opponent from attacking you, or, you know, if they have a monster that you can't get over through normal means, you could just flip it face down. And, you know, Shiranui's to have really high attack to deal with monsters anyway, so you can just, you know, attack over the monster, get over it, and, you know, and proceed on from there. Second effect, you can banish this card and banish this card from your graveyard to target a zombie you control, and one zombie in your graveyard. The first target gains the second target's attack until the end phase of the turn. Once again, another offensive and defensive move. And this effect can be activated during either player's turn. So, you know, you can set up for when your opponent is attacking you and stuff. You can just activate this as a surprise and, you know, gain attack and get over the opponent's monster. So, you know, always good to have those defensive tactics for the deck. So, alright, so let's speak on Shiranui style Double Formation, which is the quick play spell. So you can special summon 2 zombie type monsters, one from your grave and one from banish. So once again, it being the quick play spell, can be activated on either player's turn for defensive and offensive purposes. So on the offense, you can special summon the 2 monsters to set up for link summoning, or you can special summon a tuner and a non-tuner for synchro summoning purposes, or XZ or link summoning. You know, you can do just about anything you want with the 2 monsters you get off this effect. So, and one being from grave and one being from banish doesn't really matter in a Shiranui deck, because you're going to always have the means to do that, because, you know, the situation is usually going to present itself where you're going to have something banished or something in the grave in order to activate this card. So I don't see this card as being a dead card. Obviously, open and turn would be dead, of course, but other than that, nah, I don't see this being a dead card. Alright, so basically, effects are negated. You can't attack because it doesn't matter if they can attack, because you're going to be using them to do something else anyway. And they are shuffled into the deck during the end phase. You can only activate 1 double formation per turn. So yeah, all that extra stuff doesn't really matter. You can, you know, use it for other means besides attacking or anything like that. So that's a moot point right there. And they are shuffled to the deck just in case you don't decide to do anything with them. You just want to have extra resources to use. You can just, you know, have them out and let them be shuffled into the deck during the end phase. So yeah, that is basically that, guys. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed that. It actually took me a little bit. Actually, during the 4th of July, it took me a good 4 hours, because I was at work at the time when I was doing this. So it took me a good 4 hours to basically come up with the effects and, you know, making sure that they made sense and they worked well with each other and it wasn't too overpowered. So there's a lot of thought to go into making cards and stuff. So yeah, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. So I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. But until then, peace, YouTube.